Hello everyone, today we're playing Splinter Twin in... Wait, Splinter Twin? No, we're playing Jun's Scapeshift in Pioneer. So this combo relies on a 3-drop, and then a 4-drop, and then you win the game. So I got interested in this list after I saw a couple of 3-1 finishes recently with the new card Pillage the Bog in preliminaries. And Pillage makes perfect sense in what is essentially a black-green deck where you are looking to find a key card, two key cards, either Spelunking or Beseech the Mirror. So for those of you who are not quite familiar with how this combo works, the basic idea is that you Scapeshift for some mix of your 2 Lotus Fields, Mystic Sanctuary, Hidden Necropolis, and you can also get like a gingerbread cabin to keep making foods for Beseech the Mirror if you need it. And so ultimately what you're going to do is you're going to so you can loop it with Beseech, but the short version is you Sanctuary something back to the top of your deck. You then play into it with Necropolis, which has Discover 4. And then your 2 Lotus Fields your 2 Lotus Fields and the Sanctuary coming into play untapped makes 7 mana. It costs 5 to discover into your into your Splendid Reclamation, and then you sacrifice all 4 of those lands, and then repeat that again and again and again, and you have infinite mana. Once you have infinite mana, then you can go Beseech for a Mastermind's acquisition, and you probably got to the Scapeshift Beseech for Scapeshift for Splendid Rec. You probably got to that in the first place with a Beseech, so then you can Beseech for Mastermind's acquisition and kill your opponent with Worldsoul Rage. In the meantime, you can also just play a mid-range plan with Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, these Bank Busters, and Sentinel of the Nameless City. So I'm trying Pillage. Pillage really impressed me in the last video where I tried it in Modern Esper Spoils, turning it into a 4-color Spoils. So if you liked seeing Pillage there, then here's some more Pillage the Bog. And if you haven't seen that video yet, I'd recommend going to check it out. We got a pretty sweet 5-0. Alright, let's get into the first match. Okay, so we are here in round number 1. Now, this deck does apparently take a fairly long time to click through the combo, which I definitely believe based on what I've seen. So I'm going to try and play as quickly as I can in the beginning. So we're going to lead on Blooming Marsh and Thoughtseize our opponent. And I just want to preserve my time for, hopefully, an eventual combo. They've got Ashiok. We do need to get rid of that, but we can take it next turn. We've got some Considers. I'm just going to take one of these Considers, and then next turn I'll take the Ashiok. The other Thoughtseize here. Ashiok would shut down our Scapeshift, which is bad, and we absolutely can't have that happening. We pick up a second land. I'm not going to pay the life here because I don't feel like I'm going to need the Fatal Push this turn. So I'm just going to go ahead and Thoughtseize again. Our opponent is going to Consider. I think that's probably a mistake. Generally, you should try and hold cantrips for after. So they pick up a Fire Impulse. That doesn't matter. So I'm going to take the Ashiok. Again, we're just going to click through. Next turn, if we don't hit a land drop for turn, then I will just cast one of these Pillages looking for a land. Or if we do, then I will plot a Pillage. We do pick up a land drop. I'm going to plot this Pillage. And, we have it for whenever we need it. And then I'm basically in the same spot again next turn where I can either plot this Pillage, or I can, if I draw a land, or if I don't draw a land, hardcast it. Our opponent has a bunch of cards that for the most part don't matter. Galvanic Iteration, Fiery Impulse, Picklock, Prankster, Mix. Go to our turn. We do pick up a Yawgmoth. So I'm also... Actually, I think I'm going to cast this Pillage now, because I could potentially get a discard spell and do something with it. Well... yeah, I maybe want to do something here. So I do... yeah, because I do need a Spelunking. Okay, so I will take the Spelunking. Actually, I should have cast my other Pillage. I forgot that I actually need the Spelunking for a second. This is the very first game I'm playing with this deck. Alright, so we're actually not going to be able to combo next turn. It's going to have to be the turn after. So our opponent, fortunately, seems to be going pretty slowly. So they do mill some things with the Free the Fae, but we do have this Fatal Push for potential removal if they, get something going there. They're going to hardcast their Phoenix, I guess. And they do. So they're going to hit us to 13. I got too excited to resolve the Scapeshift that I forgot about the Spelunking, a key component of the combo. Siege the Mirror is not really what we need right now. I'm going to cast this looking for another land. And neither of these are really what we need. I mean, we can take the Mystic Sanctuary. We can take the Mystic Sanctuary and be kind of unhappy about it. But it does let us put a Thoughtseize on top, so actually maybe it's not so bad. So I'm going to play this Spelunking before we play the Mystic Sanctuary. So I'm going to put a land. I'm going to put this Mystic Sanctuary onto the battlefield. I will have it enter the battlefield untapped. And we'll bring back a Thoughtseize. The next turn we can Thoughtseize plus Scapeshift. So if they have a piece of removal, or I'm sorry, a piece of interaction, then we're just totally fine. Would not like to pay 2 life for the Overgrown Tomb, and then we would like it to enter untapped. So I feel like we're in reasonably good shape here. We do have a Fatal Push. I don't expect them to kill us here. Fatal Push isn't exactly going to line up against Phoenix so well because I don't have the removal immediately. We are burning a little bit too much time here. So they are playing another Phoenix, and then they're going to hit us. So this combo does take a lot of time, so I may cut out the combo or at least not talk through it while I am clicking. I'll maybe show it once and then cut it out any of the other times that it happens. So we go to our turn, draw a Thoughtseize. So I'm going to go for a Thoughtseize. And we can get rid of their Galvanic Iteration. Now we should be able to Scapeshift. And I'm going to make a black there. We'll pay 1, 2. So we'll sack all of our lands. We need the ramp. Mystic Sanctuary being in the yard. Okay, so we are going to beseech after this for the... Yes, we got Lotus Field, Cabin, Necropolis. We can get a Deeps copying the Mystic Sanctuary, and we can get an Underground Mortuary. We'll have it enter as a copy of Mystic Sanctuary. Yes, 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 and yes. So we'll stack the sack triggers lowest. And we would not like to get anything back with that. We can put a Thoughtseize back on top, whatever. Okay, so no, surveil, graveyard, make our food, make black, blue, black, black. So we're going to sacrifice those 4. And bargain our food. Got a Splendid Wreck. Cast it. Alright, we will have everything enter untapped. Did I... Oh, I clicked yes on the... Stupid. Okay, so Mystic. and get the Splendid Wreck back. Alright, so we're going to put the sacrifices on the stack first. Then we get back the Splendid Wreck. So we let that happen. Black, black. Why is this not letting us cast? Oh, activate only as a sorcery. Oh, yeah, okay, so that's fine. Green, blue, sacrifice 2 Lotus Fields, sacrifice these 2, sacrifice to discover 4, cast without paying mana cost. Stack the food, stack the Lotus Fields, stack the Mystic Sanctuary, getting back Splendid Wreck. Again, make some mana. Again, I'm just going to be clicking for a minute here. Get back the Splendid Wreck again. Sack the Necropolis. Cast it. Lands come back. Everything untapped. I probably can stop with Gingerbread Cabin soon because I'm not going to need this many artifacts. I really only need 1 for 1 more Beseech. Rack. So maybe I'll just... I'm not going to use Overgrown Tomb. I'll use a Marsh. Black. Black. That back. 2 lands. So we have 17. Alright, so we can then discover. So we have 4. Wait, we have 5. Okay, I think we have enough on 1 more loop here. We probably have enough already. I'm just trying to play quickly again. And again, like I said, this is literally the first time I'm executing this combo. Mystic Sanctuary will come in untapped. So we will stack these. We're going to Mystic Sanctuary a Beseech to the top. Use the ability. Stack some lands. Then we'll use Necropolis. Cast Bargaining Food. 15, 20. We'll get Mastermind's Acquisition. Cast it. From outside the game. Go get our World Soul's Rage. They're just trying to make us spend our time. Alright, so X is 24. No. And we get game number 1. Okay, so we spent a good chunk of time there, but we did execute the combo. Our opponent is on Phoenix, so I like these hearses. I like Ashiok. I like Shieldred, kind of. Blank. Yeah, I'm good with go blank also. Fatal Push. Ooh, Tithing Blade, no. Decay, I think no. Duress can be good. Push. I think no. What else? Are gonna cut. Yeah, they're gonna probably be cutting removal, so I don't mind having our creature plans in. I don't think I want Languish. Maybe it's like a Sentinel or two. Or maybe it's Bankbuster. It's a Bankbuster or two. Bankbuster is good, but they might have like artifact removal or something. Alright, let's cut that. And again, we have to play quick. So we will keep this. Hopefully one of these surveils puts a land into play that we can copy with Echoing Deeps, but even if not, it's okay. We just have it as a playable land. So Mortuary. We will put that into Graveyard. They've got an opt, so I'm getting that F6 value. Next turn, we're looking at other Mortuary Spelunking, or other Mortuary Duress, and then we're looking at a Spelunking, and then hopefully we're finding a card that we need, a Lotus Field. Interesting. So Duress, only take Lightning Axe. We've got Mortuary. I don't feel like we need that either. We've drawn a lot of our lands that we otherwise need. Got Prankster. So that's okay. That's expected. I haven't actually done the math on whether this works with. I mean, I guess we can get some artifacts with Bankbuster, maybe. So we've got Echoing Deeps. I will have it enter as a copy of Gingerbread Cabin, and then I'm going to play a hearse. I feel like it's important to get hearse down on the table. Rather, yeah. Start to eat their graveyard. We'll eat opt. Actually, no, I'm just gonna pass for now. I'm gonna bet that they didn't draw a treasure cruise, and then try to get them after they do something. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's fine. They have a Crackling Drake. They have the Arclight Phoenix. So it seems like maybe they're just gonna hardcast their Phoenix. They drew a land. Cannot afford to spend too much time on things like this. Okay, Scapeshift. So we have Spelunking. I'm going to play the Spelunking. I'm going to put the Lotus Field into play. We will have an enter untapped. Then I'm going to sacrifice these two. Interesting that we've had the hard cast Echoing Truth, or the hard cast. Alright, we'll get a Mortuary and get a Scry. Hard cast Scapeshift twice. We'll leave that on top. I think we do want that. Then we're going to go Bank Buster. We're going to use the Bank Buster. Unless they have, okay, they have Opt. I'm not super concerned about that. What do they have? They've got another one of these guys. There's a Phoenix in the yard, so we do need to be a little bit mindful of that. But we have Splendid Wreck, which is good. So we can Scapeshift Splendid Wreck probably into the combo here. I'm going to hold back on Hearse for when we need it. Hopefully they just like tap out for a Drake or something like that. That would be the probably best outcome. I mean, they could have picked up like a Spell Pierce or something like that, but I'm willing to try to go for it here in the face of that. They've got a Ledger Shredder. Okay. So they didn't cast spells, so their Phoenix isn't coming back. Eat two things here. So we do have a Thoughtseize. So we could Thoughtseize, Shift, or Field, plus a couple other Field, Sanctuary, and then the Howl thing. And I think that's reasonable. So let's Thoughtseize them. And then we Splendid Wreck. The one thing is we don't have a... Okay, so they have an Abrade. So I'm going to eat a couple more things. They do kill our Hearse. And we can take their Crackling Drake. They do have a Brazen Borrower. The place I'm a little bit concerned here, though, is we don't have a Beseech. So we do have a bunch of mana, and we could Pillage. So I think it's worth going for it here. I'm going to go for the Scapeshift. They do get to Connive. We do also have some draws from the Bank Buster, potentially. And we're going to sack all three of our lands. We go get Lotus Field, Hidden Necropolis, Mystic Sanctuary. We would yes, yes, and yes. So we'll put the sack trigger below the Mystic Sanctuary trigger, targeting a Thoughtseize that we're not going to use. No. Now we go 3 and a blue. And then we let this resolve, sacking these. Splendid Wreck. Okay. So copy. Okay, and then they scoop it up, so we win the match. Okay, so that was a pretty sweet game 1. While we didn't have the Beseech, we do have the ability to Pillage, and so with this many lands in play and the Pillage, I'm betting that we can make our way to a Beseech. And if not, we can still potentially just get some ramping in, get some card draw in, and then go for it next turn. But, alright, round number 1. This felt pretty strong. Weird that we naturally drew the Scapeshift both games. Other than that, yeah, let's get into the next round. So this is our round 2 hand. I am gonna go ahead and keep this. We've got Splendid Wreck in hand, which is interesting. We are really drawing our 1-ofs. The double Pillage we could use for lands if we had to. Our opponent leads on Temple Garden. Sentinel, I don't think we need this. Yeah, I'm gonna ship that. We have Bank Buster for an artifact to get things starting. Okay, they're Amalia Combo. So we are going to Thoughtseize them next turn, and then hopefully we pick up like a Fatal Push. No. but we can at least try to take any potential wild growth walker. Yes, yeah, we will definitely take the wild growth walker. And then we play a swamp. We pass the turn. We could have maybe played the tapped overgrown tomb. I want to potentially represent some sort of interaction. We have to. Next turn we can pillage, trying to look for a fatal push. So they've got a Fauna Shaman. So they can tutor out another wild growth next turn. And then they have the Cenote Scout to start things off. So we do need to find something here with this pillage. So I'm going to play the Death Cap. We will pillage, and it basically has to be we find push. We do. I'm going to take the push. And I don't need to do this yet. I'm going to see what they activate with the Fauna Shaman, so presumably they're going to go get a wild growth. Next turn we can think about, well, it depends on what they do. Life. I'm just gonna kill her now. So they do get to discard a creature to get this, but I'd rather not give them the Explore trigger. They've got an Innkeeper. And they do have Cenote Scout as their only other creature, maybe. Yeah, they have Cenote and they have Cord. So they're discarding the Scout. They're going to get another Amalia, which they can play. They do not have another... Oh, no, but they can Cord for the Wild Growth next turn. Okay. Alright, so we need to find another Fatal Push. Selfless Savior into the yard. Spelunking is interesting. We could play Spelunking, put a Lotus Field into play. But if we do that, we... Oh, yeah, no, that's actually okay. Okay, yeah, so that's okay. Well, alright, let me just play this. Paying 2 life. So I'm going to play this Spelunking. And I absolutely should have played the Pillage first. That was a mistake. So we'll have the center play untapped. We have to sack 2 lands. So I'm going to sack Deathcap, Swamp. Now we can do black, green, and we can pillage. Top 6. We do find another Fatal Push, so I mean, we're still in it. We have to use it now because we don't have the mana for it otherwise. We'll push the Amalia again. Pay more life. So we're not quite there as far as being able to combo next turn if we draw like a Beseech or something. So probably our next turn is like Sentinel Bankbuster, and then we hope we draw a Beseech. They do have the Cord that will on the end step let them get a Amalia. Won't be able to afford to push again. So we're gonna play, but then we would like it to enter untapped. Okay. So we could Splendid Wreck, but that's not really going to do anything for us. So I'm going to play Sentinel. So we create a map token. So that's something. And then we can play a Bank Buster. And we are in the spot of needing to pass the turn. And I mean, again, they can Cord for an Amalia on the end step or another 2-drop. And we need to have them not top deck a creature to be able to Fauna Shaman into a wild growth. No, but they can't actually start. Can they start the combo? I actually gain 1 life, explore. Yeah, so the Innkeeper in play does start the combo, so we need them to not top deck a creature. I think they left it on top, so that's bad. Alright, yeah, they did hit a creature. I mean, they're very likely to hit a creature. A large portion of their deck is creatures. Extraction Specialist. What does that do? Graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Getting some more explorers in. Getting back their Wild Growth Walker. Now they've got the combo. So yep. Alright, so we'll scoop. So the Amalia's gonna get big enough that it wipes everything and then we're dead. I mean, I told it to scoop. Alright. So, what do I want here? Creature removal, Languish, Ritual of Soot, we'll take those. Decay, sure. Ashiok. First could be okay, but also maybe is not the greatest. It's kind of iffy, I feel like. Shieldred is really not where we want to be, I don't think. Tithing Blade, just extra sacrifice, I'll take it. There's like a chance that that's relevant. Pick your poison. I think we probably don't need that. And so I'm going to cut some Thoughtseize. Maybe like a Bankbuster. Bankbuster seems... I feel like there could be better choices, but maybe I'm wrong. So we've got a Lotus Field, we've got some Fatal Pushes, but this hand doesn't really have a plan. I'm going to mulligan this. We're too vulnerable if we just don't draw anything good. This hand has no lands, so we need to mulligan this. This hand we can keep. I'm going to ship the Echoing Deeps and probably the Cabin. And then we're hoping to draw the third land for Ashiok. Like shut down some of the searching and get a pillage going. I'll play the Swamp first because I don't necessarily know what color I need this Dark Boar on. It'll depend on what we draw as far as additional lands. If I don't draw a land, I will play this on green and then pillage, looking for another land. Got a Selfless Savior. We do just need to get rid of that. Take away their choice. So Spelunking. So we're going to play it on Slitherboar, and then we're going to go looking for a land. We'll play Impulse. We can get... Ooh, we could get a Lotus Field, which feels kind of interesting. That feels better than Mystic Sanctuary, I think. So we'll get the Lotus Field. If we draw a land, we can like Spelunking Lotus Field Ashiok, which is pretty cool. They've got a Wild Growth, so that is notably not the Amalia. Okay, so we did draw land, so we do have the Spelunking Lotus Field. We will have an enter untapped and sacrifice 2 lands. Now I could Thoughtseize or I could Ashiok. I think I'm going to Ashiok. Just try and speed bump them a little bit. And I'm not going to use it. I want to keep it as high of a loyalty as I can so that it takes the longest for them to kill. 16. Got a Sentinel, so they're making a map. So they have an Explorer to jumpstart their combo. We do need an artifact in order to start our comboing if we draw Beseech. So the Maul to 5 has definitely hurt us here. We play another Spelunking, and that actually is a way to jumpstart our combo because it's an enchantment that we can sacrifice. Do not have a land to put into play. Thoughtseize our opponent. They're Cord, Coco, Innkeeper. So Coco represents two things. Cord, Innkeeper is the rest of the combo, though. So, and they can kill our Ashiok next turn. But if they if they play next turn, they have land. They play Innkeeper. They have 2 mana left over and 3 creatures. They can get Amalia and they can combo. Although they can't actually kill us because the Amalia would have just come into play. So I'm gonna take the Coco. I'm gonna actually take the Coco. I understand that this does let them get an Amalia, but if I top deck a Beseech, does that actually? I'm not 100% sure that that works. I maybe should have, because we only have 2 lands. If we had more lands, maybe, but if we only have 2 lands, we can get like field. Yeah, we still need too many other things. I mean, I guess we don't need the gingerbread, but we do need field, sanctuary, and okay, so they're gonna hit the Ashiok with this. I guess if they attack the Ashiok, then they can't Cord, right? So, I mean, this does... Okay, so it makes a map. Okay, the Ashiok's down. And they can't... Oh, it has Vigilance, though. Alright, never mind. Okay, so we do have a Fatal Push. So here I can start with a Thoughtseize. But I think we're going to be dead here. Because they're going to Cord in response. So they're going to Cord for 2. In response, I can kill the... Okay, no. Amalia can come in. They don't have a way to activate this yet. So we can look at their hand and we can take... What is Vraska doing? Gain 1 life and draw a card. Sure. We need to take Innkeeper, I think. Yeah, I mean, we're taking a big hit here, and I need to push something now. So I'm actually gonna push. I'm gonna push the Wild Growth. I think it doesn't matter. I think we're just dead either way. But no, we'll let it go. We could have pushed the Amalia, but then we're taking 3 life. They're swinging for 6, 7 with the Explore from the map. So we're dead in 2 turns. Here, there's a chance this is 6. There's a chance we're not dead in 2 turns, but I think we're probably... Actually, no, because that's 7. Then that's 8. I guess if they have literally nothing, we may not be dead in 2 turns, but we're dead in 2 turns. They do. Okay, they gained a life and drew cards. They're hitting us for 6. Yeah. Alright. Decay. I mean, Decay does kill Amalia or the Sentinel. But... I mean... It's still just bad. It's bad in every possible way. We have to let the Amalia live. Probably kill a Sentinel. Beginning of combat. Let's see what they do. We have to kill the Amalia, we will, but Beseech is not good enough, so I'm not really sure what we can do here. Could have an Innkeeper. Get a treasure token. Probably sack that for the Vraska. Not that even if we were to somehow pull this game out, winning 2 games in our remaining time feels unlikely. Although theoretically possible. To bring back Innkeeper, Selfless Savior, Luminarch Veteran. They're going to gain approximately 8 million life. Yeah, we're dead. I mean, I could have pushed that in response, but it's or decayed that in response, but it doesn't. Beseech on its own isn't good enough there with only the 2 lands. So we need land plus Beseech, and we can't do that in 1 turn. And we're dead in 2 turns there no matter what. So we'll scoop it up. All right, so let's go to round 3. All right, our opponent is a Hat Enjoyer. And we have Spelunking plus some lands. We have Removal and Decay. Acquisition is like okay to have in hand. We don't have to go Beseech for it, and we can just kind of tap the mana for World Souls when we need it. We could also use it to go Tutor for a Beseech if we needed to. So I'm going to lead on a tapped Overgrown Tomb and then pass the turn. We'll play Bankbuster on 2 unless we feel like we are going to need to decay something. Against Darklick Shores, what do they have? Playing something. Thought Seizing. Alright. So I would expect to lose our Spelunking here, which is a little bit unfortunate. But Bankbuster, maybe do we have a mid-range plan that we could do? Feels like we're still a little ways away from the combo. They're thinking, oh, they take the Bankbuster. Okay, I mean, I'm relatively okay with that. So given that we already have green here, green on Besager if we want it, I'm going to play this Dark Boar on the black side. And we're just going to hold up to K. And next turn it's Spelunking. The turn after that it could be Masterminds for Beseech. We do need an artifact at some point here. They could have some sort of counter magic here. Okay, I'm into plotting Pillage rather than playing the Spelunking into a potential counter magic here. So the next turn I can either go get a Thought Seize, or I could maybe use it later to go find a Beseech. So we do have options. Opponent, Shipwreck Marsh. They're playing something. Got a Narset. Okay. So that would in some way shut off our Spelunking, but not in like the worst way. Day's Undoing. Alright, we do need to kill that Narset. In fact, we could try and bait them into casting it and then Abrupt Decay the Narset in response. Kinda like that. So if I play the Overgrown Tomb, then we play the Spelunking, and then we play then we put our Boseiju into play and it comes in untapped. So we don't get the draw from the Spelunking, but we do get to decay the Narset in response to the Day's Undoing. And that's going to mean we draw a fresh hand and we probably combo them. So, yeah, I mean, let's see. We do need an artifact, though, still, which is kind of annoying. Or, you know, or enchantment, but I don't want to sack our Spelunking, obviously. They've got a Jace Reawakened. Got the Jace Reawakened. They're looting. Looting away another Jace. Feels like maybe holding up permission. We've got a Blooming Marsh. We would like it to enter untapped. I can acquisition for a Thought Seize, maybe. Or what do I have in my sideboard? We've got go blank. That feels not that good. We've got, yeah, it probably just is acquisition for Thoughtseize. Maybe I'll get a duress. Yeah, I'll get a duress actually. Put duress in. I'm gonna again pass turn, and then next turn I'm setting up to Thoughtseize plus or duress plus potentially pillage into something, hopefully. Again, I have decay for the Narset in response to days. Got Hall of the Storm Giant. Plotting something. Valky, okay. I mean that's a thing. Drawing a clue, a card with their clue. Still passing. So I think here I may just kill the Narset. I'm just going to kill the Narset. And maybe I draw some sort of, well, no, I still need an artifact is partly the issue here. So we can duress them. Extinction Event, Shieldred's Edict, Dig Through Time, Days Undoing. Most of these don't matter. I guess I'm going to take the Dig Through Time. Can play an Overgrown Tomb, not paying 2 life. And maybe, well, how much mana? I have 6 mana here. If I get a Beseech, no. Get a Scapeshift, maybe I can make something happen. If I beseech away my spelunking, I'm just toast. I'm gonna cast Pillage. Try and find something. We do find Beseech. We find Scapeshift. So we could just Scapeshift immediately, but then we don't have a Splendid Wreck. We could. Splendid Wreck doesn't do anything. So if we Scapeshift, we get lands back. We can loop and cast a. We don't, because we don't have the Splendid Wreck, so we can loop and cast a Pillage. Looking, alright, I'm just gonna go for it because I don't really know else what we're doing at this point. We're just gonna try. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get field, Propolis, Gingerbread, Sanctuary, Urborg, and Mortuary. I don't think I need Echoing Deep. Okay, so we'll put the sacrifices lowest. Surveil 1. I should have not done that first. Okay, well, alright, whatever. And we'll put back the Pillage. Put back the Scapeshift and Scapeshift again. That's not going to do anything. Back the Pillage. We are going to only have a few cards with the Pillage, actually. That's a little bit dicey. So we basically need to hit. Okay, so we make a food. We need to hit Beseech or or Splendid Wreck off of this, I think. Or yeah, we're only have 3 cards. Yeah, so that's not great. Sack, some lands. Yeah, this being at sorcery speed is a little bit rough. Oh, and actually, oh, it's only gonna be 4 cards. Oh, this is so bad. Should have been Mastermind's Acquisition, and then we actually would have had it. I should have put the Masterminds on the top. Get another Pillage. Cast another Pillage. Do hit a Beseech. Does this work? Cast with Bargain. Bin the food. Get a Splendid Rack. Cast the Splendid Rack. And that is actually going to do it. So we messed up a little bit. Wait, I was not supposed to pay 2 life on those. We messed up a little bit, but I think we're actually okay now. So, alright, I will be back in 1 second after I finish clicking this combo. Okay, so the comboing is done. We're World Souls Raging our opponent for 19. We have about 14 minutes left on the clock, and we're going to begin sideboarding. So against control here, I want discard. I'll take the go blanks. Decay also. Tithing Blade, I think no. Ashiok and Shieldred. Yeah, Shieldred I think could be okay. Buzz Crusher I think is not as important. The Fatal Pushes I don't think are as important. Ashiok, I'm not sure how much they search, so I think it's probably okay. They do have the Valky. I do need a way of dealing with that. I don't really think I have one, so we're just gonna have to wing it. What else? Hey, Spelunking, Sentinel, Bankbuster feels... Well, Bankbuster is good in a more grindy spot. Maybe I'll cut 1 Bankbuster, though. We'll go like this, and we do have to play fast, because if we lose, we don't want to be left out of time for match 3, given that it is currently 1-0 and we have 14 minutes on our clock. Yeah, we'll keep this. We have some discard, we have some lands, and we have a Sentinel of the Nameless City. Other forests, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. So on their turn, we're just going to pass. Then it'll be Blooming Marsh Duress on our turn. We have a Beseech, that's a decent pickup. Sentinel will make the map. Okay, so they have a Kalitas and a Dig Through Time. So we can't take the Kalitas with the Duress. So we do need a way to deal with that. But we're lined up to get rid of the Dig Through Time next turn. Spelunking is a good pickup. So we can duress them. See what they get. Got a Deduce, okay. Oh, they got a Jace. Alright, so Cletus doesn't really matter. They're still pretty far away from Dig. So I think I'm actually going to take the Jace. Pass. So I do have some mana. So I think I'm going to play the Spelunking here, figuring that they likely do not have a piece of interaction. And I could actually do both in the same turn then. But will that mess up my... I'm not calculating it. We're just gonna go. Could Spelunking. And I can put a field into play, sacking 2 lands, then I'd have 3 lands. I could get Field, Sanctuary, and the Bargain thing. So that feels okay. We will have Lotus come in untapped. Sack 2 Blooming Marshes. Then we can play a Sentinel. Make our map token. And we should be good to go next turn. Oh, I need to sack with my 1 Lotus coming in, though. I have to sack the 2 Lotuses. Actually, is that enough looping? Oh, no, because I get the Scapeshift first. Right. Oh, they're going to take our Beseech. That's annoying. So, I mean, Pillage is a good remedy to that. And they crack their clue. Okay. Play a land. And we know that they've got 3 cards. They've got Dig, they've got Kalidas, and they've got 1 unknown. So if I pillage here, I can't do anything with it right away, so I'm going to not gonna just plot. And then I'm actually going to explore, because I'm going to create another map, so okay. Okay. Mortuary is not bad. And the damage actually also helps. It means a little less clicking when we're comboing. Mortuary also makes this a little bit more secure with our Beseech. Question is, what do? Do they like play a Kalidas? Thought sees us and probably take our Abrupt Decay. Well, have to take our Abrupt Decay. Then the question is, what are they going to dig? Probably going to dig. What's that? Just jamming Kalidas? I mean, that's a bold choice. They're kind of relying on our, what's it called? Our Pillage missing. We do pick up Thoughtseize. We will have it enter untapped. We surveil. We would like to get rid of that. We can pillage. And we do hit a Beseech, so we will take that Beseech. And then we are going to float some mana, and we can go Scapeshifting. So we'll pay more, sack the map. And that's going to be the game. Unless I misclick. Oh, but they scoop it up. All right, so I guess the first time they made us demonstrate that we knew how to do the combo, but they didn't want to sit through it here again the second time. So we are 2-1. This deck is proving to be pretty cool. I'm definitely interested in it. Just overall, I've got a couple RCQs coming up, and I was planning on playing Lotus Field, but I may consider audibling to this, even if not immediately, at least for maybe a little bit later in the season. All right, round 4. Let's see what happens. Okay, so round number 4. It's Epic Gamer 666. We've got lands and we've got a Spelunking, so I think that's going to be a keep. Our opponent is on a Gigantha deck. We do have our Surveil land on turn 1. So we just get to ramp here and then hopefully not get Thoughtseize, but I don't really expect the Gigantha deck to Thoughtseize us. Okay, Elvish Mystic off Lair of the Hydra. Find a Beseech. Pillage is a decent pickup. We do need... I'm going to put that into the yard. I don't think we need Echoing Deeps. So we more forests for Gingerbread Cabin would be nice. Alternately, we need an artifact in some form. They could be pretty fast with this Elvish Mystic, so depending on what they do, Yeah, I'm probably actually going to hardcast this pillage because I don't know that I'm gonna have time to plot it and then spelunking and then other stuff. Yeah, I'll see. Although spelunking could get cabin, that would be good. Yeah, but basically next turn has to be spelunking cabin, and then it's got to be win the turn after that. So I just actually don't have time for anything other than playing pillage now, and I need to hope this finds a beseech. If it doesn't, it digs us deeper, and at least we get closer to it. I mean, I'll take the Thoughtseize in case, but it's bad. It's not looking good. I think they're just gonna be too fast and run us over here. Is my concern. We did at least prevent it from becoming nightbound. Got an Esca's Chariot. We get some cats, and they're crewing it. Yeah, all right, they're hasting it with the Storm Seeker. So we're getting hit for 7 here, putting us to 10. Making another cat. I think we're actually just dead next turn. I mean, they do only have 2 cards in hand, so and we actually do draw the Beseech. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Through that 10. Yeah, we are just straight up dead on board. Unless we could Boseiju the Chariot, but if we Boseiju the Chariot, we can't play the Spelunking, and we need to play the Spelunking to be able to win next turn. So I think they just got us here. So, I mean, this was definitely a game where we could have won this were we on the play. We had a turn 4 win, but it didn't quite shape up. So, I want our removal. I think I will take the Pick Your Poisons. I'll take the Decay. What don't I need? The Thoughtseizes. Shieldred seems kind of mid against a deck that's going wide. And yeah, let's go like this. Alright, so we've got Sentinel, we have some removal, we have Beseech, we have Splendid Wreck. We don't have Scapeshift. We could potentially like Beseech for Scapeshift, put Beseech back on. No, but that's not going to work. Okay, I mean, this hand is a keep though. That going deeps, I don't think we need that. We maybe get to natural the cabin. We have a artifact source in the Sentinel anyway. If they play just like a dork on one, I am just going to probably decay it, slow them down. And they have their turn 2 play, and then we have our Sentinel on 3. Yeah, they do have their dork. So we can bolt the bird. Okay, I will take the damage here because of the potential upside of getting the cabin to come in untapped. Or we maybe are going to have to like beseech for a spelunking. So we'll see how that works. They've got a forest, but then they have a pass after that. So that's excellent. That means they missed with whatever they're doing. We've got Dark Boar Pathway, so I'm going to play this on the black side, so I have triple black. And we've got Sentinel. And that is also a big butt that prevents them from attacking us. So that's good. Well, it doesn't prevent them, but you know, maybe it can kill something depending on what they're playing. They're stomping us in the face. Okay, I mean 2 damage. They can play the giant, but I mean the giant will just trade with our sentinel, so I'm like kind of okay with that. Sentinel also having vigilance is nice. We can apply a little bit of pressure. Okay, obliterating bolt. Sure, that's totally fine. Oh, we drew a spelunking. Okay, so that's excellent. So this means we're all set to win next turn. So we'll put the cabin into play, have it enter untapped, make the food token, play a Necropolis, have it enter untapped, then we hold up Fatal Push, and we have Beseech for Scapeshift next turn. They've got an Escus Chariot. Alright, so let's get started here. So we'll sacrifice the map. Beseeching. Again, we go get Scapeshift. We'll put that on the stack. Flow to black. Sacrifice all of our lands. Now we can get Field, Sanctuary, and then other cards that don't matter. Get an Echoing Deeps and Mortuary, I guess. We can have that enter as a copy of Necropolis. Sure, why not? Yes. So we'll stack the triggers. And we can put a Beseech on top. Surveil 1. Where's my Surveil? Oh, yeah, we can put that into the yard. Make some more mana. Put Sanctuary on top. And I'm going to go through the rest of the combo here. Be right back in 1 second. Alright, so here's the deal. I misclicked, but I hit them for a whole bunch of damage with World Soul's Rage, and then used World Soul to bring back lands, and then put the World Soul back on top of the library. So World Soul is currently on top of our library. Our opponent's at 5 life, and they'd have to do 14 to us this turn. Otherwise, we're just going to draw and replay World Soul and kill them. It should have been just a clean kill, but then we again we misclicked. So the match is tied at 1-1. We have to begin sideboarding, and I think we're just going to keep things the same. We are on the draw here, so that makes things a little bit more difficult. Hopefully they don't have as quick of a start as they had the other time. We only have 12.5 minutes, which is a little concerning. I am going to keep this. We do have Spelunking, we have Splendid Wreck, we have Sentinel, but I'm a little worried. They could definitely have a hand as fast as they had in game 1, and it would potentially just kill us. So that would be unfortunate were it to happen. They mulled to 5 though, so maybe they don't. Do look like they have turn 1 elf though. Okay, we've got Mortuary. I am going to keep that, because this does represent the win, assuming we get to our turn 5. Well, we need 1 more land also, but... And they have this, okay. That's a little annoying. Oh, Trample Haste, yeah. Alright, so, I mean, we're going to play this tapped. Next turn we can play Sentinel. Hopefully they do not have land Chariot here, because if they do, then we're just dead with the exact same curve they had turn 1. And that'd be pretty sad. But they have it. So, I mean, they've got... Yeah, they have the turn 4 kill twice in a row. We need... I mean, we're hit for 9 here, down to 8. Make another cat. Yes, this is all very, very bad. We do have Pick Your Poison to kill the Chariot, but we're still in deathly trouble because they still just have enough things that kill us. Yeah, I mean, we can't... Yeah, I mean, if we pick your poison, kill the chariot, but we don't have a blocker for this Storm Charge Slasher, and so we're still just taking 6, 9, 10, 12. We can't play the Sentinel at the same time. Yeah, I mean that's going to be the game. So they have a they had some they kind of had the perfect curve game 1, game 3, and I mean we could have maybe mauled again. Tried to find. Did we maul once? No, we did keep that. Maybe we should have mauled, tried to find removal. Feels a little bit weird to maul the Fatal Push when we just do have the combo in hand. But maybe we needed to like maul the Fatal Push. Sentinel, yeah, Sentinel's just a little too slow. Alright, well, 2-2. Can we close it out with a win? Let's see. Alright, so round number 5 here. We have a hand that is kind of close, but I think ultimately just too many expensive spells and not enough lands, so we're going to mulligan it. This hand is a little bit better. Interesting question of do we want Lotus Field in play? I think we actually don't, so I think I'm going to shift the Lotus Field. Just because of the fact that it takes us down on lands for the Beseech. So that feels a little bit risky. Opponents on Sunken Citadel. We do have a turn 1 Thoughtseize. Now they did also maul the 6. Shieldred, okay. They're Waste Not. Got 2 Waste Nots in an Extinction event. Exile each creature of the mana value with the chosen quantity. So we'll take a Waste Not, I guess. We're going to get to play a Waste Not next turn. But they do just, I mean, they have Gyre Reach. So it's land, Waste Not, sure. They have a Gyre Reach, and they'll get to Gyre Reach us next turn. They don't really have a lot of follow-up. I'm going to go Glade. Thoughtseize our opponent. I'm going to take their Thoughtseize. Extinction event, again, I don't really care about. I think I'm probably going to discard the what was it? The Shieldred? Oh, they have Go Blank. Okay. I mean, it's gotta be, I guess it's gotta be Shieldred Sentinel. It could be Shieldred Beseech. I think it's gotta be Shieldred Sentinel. No. So would I rather give them 2 creatures? Go Blank was a very good draw from them. I obviously can't be a Splendid, otherwise we can't combo. Unless we're committing to not comboing, which is potentially a play. So do we give them the cards? Or do we give them the creatures? I think I'm actually going to discard the 2 spells. Say we're not comboing this turn. Let them draw a couple cards. Hopefully they just draw some blanks, and then hope we just like draw a land, and then we get them with Sentinel. Shieldred could, I mean, they will make us discard Shieldred, I expect. But we're just going to try and clock them with creatures. I don't like that we just gave them 2 cards there, but I think the odds of winning if we like, they have another Waste Not. I mean, they can Gyre Reach. So I'm going to discard Bankbuster, and they're going to get a couple zombies. Wait, that's, oh no, that's non-creature, non-land, okay. So now our hope is that we draw a land, and then we can Shieldred. That's not the land I needed. Alright. So I'm going to explore. Let's activate only as a sorcery. So I'm gonna map. I should have done that pre-combat. That was a mistake. I can map again. Okay, so we'll play a Tomb tapped. And we do have this Shieldred in hand. I'm not liking our spot with the cards in hand that they have. They are going to get approximately 8 million mana here. But maybe they won't be able to play that much stuff with it. Yeah, if we'd drawn a better land getting shielded down this turn, I could have maybe felt like we had a chance, but I think we're very likely dead. It's got to be a land. So I'm going to discard this Mystic Sanctuary, because that's kind of my worst land here. And again, let's see what they do with their cards in hand. Got a Liliana. That's going to kill us. Yeah, that's going to kill us. Discard the Lotus Field, I guess, but we're so dead. Super, super dead. They discarded another Liliana. Got a Maze Mine Tome, sure. Get to use it. Still have some mana. Castle Walkthwain. Get to draw a card again. They have Bitter Triumph, okay. Did they? Oh, they discarded a card. I mean, okay. So the problem is the Liliana can get the Shieldred killed, which means that our Shieldred is not long for this world, which means that we are dead. Yeah, there's no other way around this. All right, I'm gonna scoop that up, save time on the clock. Okay, so Decay, yes. Tithing Blade, no. Pick your poison, yes. Buzz Crusher, maybe. Thoughtseize, no. Other Shieldred. Shieldred can be okay here, I feel. Go blank. Do we want to be making them discard too? Not sure how I feel about that. Buzz Crusher could kill a relevant land. I will actually keep that. Ashiok. Curse. Push is also not great. What other cards do we need? Maybe we do play the Go Blanks just because there's something at least, and then the hearses for additional artifact. I don't want to be playing discard against the discard deck. And then, yeah, I think the Tithing Blade is probably just worse. Although we could play a Tithing Blade, maybe. I mean, they could have an Ashiok or a Shieldred. Maybe it's one Tithing Blade, one hearse. Either one is particularly good. There's also Ashiok. I don't think they're doing that much searching. So we could go like this. And I do expect them to have Shieldred, so maybe some number of push is correct. Maybe it's well, but we're not going to be able to really kill it with Shieldred that much. All right, so maybe it's just the blade. Hearse, Buzz Crusher can like take out an annoying land or something. The Gaia Reach or whatever. But then yeah, the Go Blanks are not good, but they're just a lack of other cards. So we'll go like this. Did I? Oh, I thought we already submitted, but I guess we didn't. All right, so down a game. We need to try to claw our way back. This hand is. Ugh. I mean, we have removal, but double Echoing Deep, Urborg, and no green to cast our green stuff. I think that makes this a mulligan. This is a little bit better. We do have Spelunking Beseech. We keep this, and the question is, do we bin Shieldred or do we bin Lotus Field? If we Spelunking, we could put the Lotus Field in the same turn and use it to accelerate. Shieldred's an alternate threat. I don't know if we need to put it in the same turn. I'm going to bin the Lotus Field. We can go Necropolis on 1, Tomb on 2. Opponent has mulligans to 5 cards. So that's a good start for us. Play the tap land where we can, and then we preserve the option of using the shock land. And they're going to Thoughtseize us or something? Yeah. I mean, I do like that we have 2 plans here, which is kind of the reason why I kept all of these and got rid of the Lotus Field. So, I mean, if they take our Shieldred, we still have our combo. If they take our combo, we still have our Shieldred. Now, Shieldred is not great against a potential Liliana, but again, it's better than, like, Fatal Push, I think. And it is at least something that they have to deal with. It's a turn that the Liliana is minusing and not plussing on us. So, I mean, maybe. And they did mulligan pretty low, so they don't necessarily have, like, a Liliana. They take the Spelunking. Okay, bold choice. I think it's actually a pretty reasonable choice. Like, that's the fastest card in our hand. Also draws a card. So our hand is definitely a little bit clunky without that. It was already a little bit clunky, and now it's even more clunky. Castle Lockplane, do they have the Waste Knot? No, they do not. Okay. Okay, Bankbuster is a decent pickup. I mean, it's something that they can kill, but we will play the Pathway on the swamp side for potential Beseech. We can start chipping through its counters, drawing cards if we need to. We could also just like play Shieldred, crew it, and attack. So they're going to use Gaia Reach. They're going to use Go Blank. Okay, so I think we actually dump 2 Beseeches. Keep the Shieldred. Land. We do pick up land. Now, I could definitely anticipate a Liliana coming down here. The question is, do we crew and attack and then lose our Shieldred? Or I think we do not. I think we just save the crewing as a way to play around the Liliana. So they've got a Field of Ruin. Got a Liliana. Now they're sacking. We'll crew. And we'll lose the Bankbuster and then attack the Liliana with the Shieldred. Now, I mean, Go Blank would be timely for us here. Decay, I mean, Decay is okay. So we could actually just not hit the Liliana. And then if they plus, we decay the Liliana. I kind of like that. They're going to go 10. This kind of forces second Liliana out of them. I mean, we can bait them into discarding one of their own cards, basically, is what I'm thinking here, though. And they have to discard a card. I mean, yeah, it just comes down to, do they have second Liliana here? I'm a little worried. Okay, that is not second Liliana. Okay. Target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled that way. Okay. Alright. So they can't really deal with our Shieldred yet. Beseech is also a decent pickup. I don't want to let this flip, though, so I'm going to play my Beseech. just as a tutor. I'm not going to bargain it. And then the question is, what do I go get? I think I go get another Shieldred. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna have to probably discard whatever it is though. So maybe I get a land. Yeah, so I'm gonna go get a land. I'm gonna get Underground Mortuary, and I'm gonna play it. We can surveil this Lotus Field into our yard. We don't need that. We're basically hoping to hit a, maybe, well, another land lets us at least use the Necropolis if we had to. Opponent is at 4. So they really need an answer like immediately. Did they find it? A little worried seeing 2 and 1 get tapped. Let's do again. Exiles up to 2 target cards from graveyards for each creature exiled this way. Alright, I mean that's fine. They're fielding our Necropolis. That's fine too. And they do have the Liliana. Oh, brutal. So they top deck to the Liliana. Alright, I mean, we've got a game again. They hit us with the Trespasser. Exile the Shieldred. They go to 5. Pillage the Bog. I'm going to suspend that, or plot it. Now, I could use it for something right now, but now we kind of need to combo is the plan. So I'm hoping we find like a Spelunking. Now, note 3 of our Beseeches are gone, actually, so that's kind of bad. And then they have a Shield. What are these top decks? Oh, man. Okay, I mean, sure. All right. Couldn't like top deck like Waste Not, you know? Alright, so taking 8, 9, 10 next turn. They ate one of our Lotus Fields. We pillage here. What do we find off of this pillage? If we find a Beseech, we can't do anything constructive with. If we find a Spelunking, what do we do with a Spelunking? Nothing. Hope we draw a Scapeshift the next turn. Our Necropolis is gone too, though, so we can't even really combo. So we're just going to need to like natural Scapeshift into World Soul's Rage, which means we need... Yeah, I think we have to hit a Spelunking here. We do hit a Spelunking. Buzz Crusher is not going to do it, I think. Yeah. And then Shieldred also doesn't do it here. They just make us sack either one. So it does have to be Spelunking. And then we have to hope we draw something good next. Like I guess it's basically what it is it's got to be Spelunking. And then, okay, I mean, Pillage is not what we need. But we can Pillage for a land. We're taking 10, though. They have another... Yeah, we're so dead. Oh, this does transform back at least. That's something. Okay, so we could Mortuary Scry. Oh, but now Scapeshift is going to the bottom. Whatever it is, we're going to have to discard it. So it's going to be Mortuary. But, oh, we can't even play it. Never mind, we already played the land for 10. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely over. Yeah, we needed to draw the land off of the Spelunking so that we could so we can put it into play. Here, if we Scapeshift, we do still have Sanctuary. We can't draw. Oh, yeah, that kills us, doesn't it? Let me... Alright, go blank is not needed. That's 10, 7. Actually, no, we're not dead yet. we're effectively dead, but we don't actually die yet. Problem is, I think we need 2 cards. Because we can't get our Hidden Necropolis has been killed. So Scapeshift doesn't do it. Scapeshift is on the bottom of our deck anyway. Yeah, Gingerbread Cabin is certainly not going to do it. Alright, well, that's the league. We are 3-2, or 2-3. The deck felt pretty good a lot of the time. This last round, it kind of felt like, alright, you know, our opponent had some things that worked out in a certain way, and we didn't quite get there. But it felt like all the other rounds were pretty clearly either, I mean, the rounds we won, and then the other round we were in reasonable shape. So let's go back to the deck list and take one more look. Alright, so here's the deck list again. So what do I think about this? Well, Pillage was definitely very strong alongside the land ramping with Spelunking Scapeshift type of shell. Bankbuster seems kind of questionable to me. I feel like, why is this Bankbuster and not like some other artifact? And I guess it's like a powerful attacker, but I feel like there's probably better mid-range creatures in Pioneer that are available, although I fully admit that I do not know that for certain. I'm just, I've really not kept up with Pioneer. The combo feels good when it's going. It's a little bit awkward to play Pillage alongside Spelunking because it does mean, like, I would like more early drop artifacts. Because, like, Sentinel to generate your artifact to start a Beseech chain means that, like, Spelunking on 3, Sentinel on 4, or vice versa, and then Beseech on 5 is kind of how it has to be. But I mean, maybe there's room for like more aggressive or like interact. Could some of the interaction be artifacts? Maybe more Tithing Blade, although that seems not great in every matchup. Like there's room to change things around there, but I do think the shell of this is powerful. I'm probably not going to be playing this again anytime soon. Not necessarily because it was bad, but just because it's so much stress with the clicking. It's honestly one of the slower combos that I feel like I've played online. Feels slower than Breach, certainly, or anything like that. Like Breach, I just like, leave it on and click through the combo, and it's really not that long. Here, it feels pretty click intensive, but yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think we'll shelve this one for a little while. All right, that's my take. If you enjoyed, definitely feel free to check out some of our other videos. The modern video with Pillage is what I'll be linking to here at the end. That one was a really sweet 5.0, so go check that one out if you haven't already. All right, until next time, keep using tutors to find your combo pieces. Pillage the Bog. It's a pretty cool tutor. All right, bye everyone.